We have one last round here at Prairie Dunes for the week, and it has been absolutely testing us through and through. It has been a very difficult track, and it has also been very much so a mental battle in here. We've got one last fight. Back tees for round 4. One more round of very high winds, this time out of the southeast. Fairways are firm, so things have gotten at least a little bit cooler in terms of fairway and greens. We are firm, moderate, and default. Things have slowed down a bit, but winds are still very high, which means things are still going to be very challenging. So with that, we just got to keep our nose to the grindstone, or whatever the quote is, they're saying, what have you. The rain is here, so that's why it's it's come now. We had the winds at the front of the storm. Now the storm is here. So we got to play through. Got to try and stay out of demotion marks. And if you are watching this and you enjoy, please consider dropping a sub on the YouTube channel. It goes a long way, and you don't want to miss out on any more of the videos. Now, without further ado, we're going to try and send this drive down, get it into the fairway here, and get ourselves a nice approach shot on the first. Baby fast. But this all kicks to the right, and that's pretty much what we're banking on. Oh, and that is superb. That is exactly what we needed it to be. Been watching the stream for a couple days now, enjoying the content of the streams. Thank you very much, Mike. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Glad you're enjoying. It's just like, it's 21 miles an hour of wind, like just casually. Like, it's been so consistently like 17 to 22 miles per hour through the last 19 holes. There's no dips. Why can't it be like a gust? Like, here's a hole that's higher. Why is it everything? 21 miles an hour. I don't even know. How do you stop this? I feel like no matter what we do, this is the type of shot to end up long. Maybe there's a chance with something like this, though. Give it full loft. That'd be 94, 92. And then you get 21 at the back. Caps out at, like, the 12 spot. Get it to, like, pin high and bounce. I think that's the play. Play a lot of loft and some spin, and just be okay going a little long. Just don't be mega short. It's a good strike. Distance looks good too. That shot is so good. What's going on, Tippy? Thank you for the luck. Holy cow, that shot is so good. Okay. I have serious trust issues, so there's a lot going on in my heart, in my throat when I hit that putt. In my head, that could blaze by on the high side, that could break more and go low side. Like, pretty much everything is in my head other than it going into the hole, which is not great. Oh, and good. The wind is higher than yesterday. So we are already up to, like, a solid 23 miles an hour. Yeah, just casually. Casually 23. Yeah, nothing. No big deal. No big deal. Okay. Well, I think ultimately we're just going to aim a heck of a lot out to the right and watch this wind bring it back. And I think, that being said, it should carry enough. Did not come back enough to the left, but distance will be good. Should be able to climb up onto the shelf. Okay, so a little bit of an overplay, but we're not rolling all the way back down, which is nice. I need to do a little bit of work on those very high winds for some of the side-to-side stuff. try and get it worked out a little bit better. All right, is this gonna be it? That's the real question. Is this gonna be it? Those are some great adjustments. Come on now. Come on. Flip the script from the past few rounds. No bogey on the first, we get the birdie, and then we go back to back. Okay, just baby slow, but the wind is going to hold it up so much. Look at that thing, just, it hits a wall and comes straight down. 270 yards. 117 in, and we're looking at about 21. I think this gap wedge would be played more than 21. And if that's the case, I mean, that's long. But I think what you could do, I'm trying to work out, because if we try and punch this gap wedge through, speaking of, I never use punch shots, so now is probably not the time to use it. I think if we go pitching wedge, if we trust that this is 21, and we also trust that it's going to play more than 20 yards into the face here. 30, high 20, mid 20s. Play just like a little bit of backspin. And watch it kind of work its way back and maybe even spin back. A little fast. There's a rainbow in the background there. Spin back. Maybe not that far. Just got a little bit too far left. They're handicapped this far up? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Zvorda? Alright. Gonna have this moderate so we can play it a little bit closer. And then a little bit to the right. Good distance control, just didn't quite come back. Didn't quite come back around to the left. No, there's no handicap scoring on the TGC Tours, unless they accidentally said it, which has happened a couple of times on TrueSim before. They've accidentally turned on handicap scoring and have to like manually or like go in and correct some things. Man, there's no handicap. How much is this wind in the face? Like it's not that much in the face, right? But, and you have the tree. Oh my goodness, this is awful. Okay, how do you go about this? 169, but 22 miles an hour of wind just barely cutting in. I feel like you have to play a little bit of drop, but then you like really de-loft this 8-iron. And I have some serious trust issues. Oh no. I despise everything about this. 180, we're 17 yards long. That's gonna cut a few yards off of it. I'm gonna go with the 7. I don't know. I don't feel good about trying to de-loft the 8. I underhit it. We were good. I actually played it a little bit too much to the right, but that's gonna work out. That's a shot. Handicapping golf is basically, I'm not as good as you guys, so I get to remove some of my strokes. Yes. And then, in fact, if you get good enough, the handicap actually switches over to positives, and so you have to start giving, you basically just, like, are even, you're handicapped, essentially. But it's a way to level the playing field. So somebody like me, I am a scrub rookie golfer. I am a 29 handicap. So the course essentially has hole ratings, and that's how you subtract through. Like, you would subtract a stroke off of the one handicap, which is the hardest hole, all the way down to 18, and I would do that for the next 11 holes. But if you were a 2 handicap, so you're just, you're barely off of par, you'd only get the first 2, and then everything else, like, is in my favor to level the playing field. But as you shoot better or worse, those handicaps shift. I hit that a bit fast, but it's a lot of wind, so it might hold it up. Hey, what's going on, Brock? Yeah, we decided to finally, we're streaming on Twitch all the time. Figured may as well stream on YouTube as well, and then I think we're gonna just shift the videos and try and do like one edited video a week, but then have the full streams available for people to watch, because I don't do any editing to the rounds, really, so I figure that's honestly probably the best case, or not best case, but like that's the best situation for us. And it'll give me a chance to experiment with some edited stuff and see how it goes. Alright, 109. About 18 here. Go a few yards long. I'm going to just peel a little bit back. It's a good strike. Underhit it a little bit, but we land just... Oh, no! That did not land on the green. That landed on the fringe and took the mega kick. Okay, fortunate for that backstop to keep us there. If that landed on the green, that would have been really, really nice. But wow, that kicks so hard. I don't know what it is, but we're making the right adjustments. Lets people of different skill play together and be competitive instead of dividing the player base into tiny fragments. Exactly. Now, when you play on competitive... When you play on... Not competitive golf in general, but like when you play on the PGA Tour, or Korn Ferry or any of those professional leagues, there's no handicaps. But when you play in like USGA, which is US Golf Association sanctioned, events, or you play in, well, maybe not all USGA stuff. I think it depends on the context. But a lot of times, like country club leagues or just local golf leagues and stuff, they'll be handicap scoring to keep it open to as many people. But when you go to like a professional level, the handicaps are removed. Your IRL handicap is plus 2.1? So you're basically, so Tippy, do you play semi-professionally then, or do you like at least try to, enter like US Open qualifiers and stuff? Wow, look at that. The wind has calmed down to a cool 15, 16 mile an hour breeze. Oh man, that's still so much. Ah, Kirk, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, gap wedge, pitch. I'm gonna just give it a touch of loft. A little fast. That was a good call. Just sit. Oh, nice. There's always a chance that, because I lofted it and it's on a slope and it's into a headwind, that it's gonna want to roll back. But like, look at our reward. Hit a pretty good shot. I mean, you hit it to 6 feet and you're left with, a foot of break. Oh man. IRL handicap would be like 50. So when I started Zvorda, I mean, my handicap was definitely up in the, technically in that like 50. I think 54 is the max. But yeah, that's definitely where I started. My first times out, I shot like 130 something. But very quickly, I learned I got a little bit better with like short game things and was able to shave a bunch of strokes and drop it into the 110s. Now I flirt with, I've been sitting right consistently in the low hundreds. If I can get my ball striking down, I think we can easily break 90. Like, I think it's going to be that big of a jump. Semi-pro events and tried for the open qualifier, but you're miles off. Oh, and there's also just an added mental level to it at that point, right? It's one thing to be a good golfer, it's another thing to be a good golfer competitively. I wanna go for this. It's a matter of like, how is the wind gonna fare? 270, probably about 250, 260. Wind is big. We'll go for it. We'll go for it. Maybe slow. It's okay. Get on that shelf. Come on, stay up. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. When you throw balls, you either throw dead center or 40 degrees off in a random direction. Yeah, now try and do it with the, with the club head. It is quite the challenge. You'd think because the ball sits still that it would be easier, but it's not. This breaks at the start, and that's what I really don't know. It got too far left. Yeah, I couldn't quite get a feel for how much that was gonna break. I knew it was going to turn quite a bit, but like pace-wise, I didn't know quite how far left that could get. Between you and the PGA Tour, the difference between a 28 handicapper and a single figure. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. This is a very tricky fairway. This is a very tricky fairway. I think it's a bait to try and drive it. I think we could potentially full backspin it and find it, but this just seems safer. Oh, it's so addictive. I realized my wife and son were out of town over the weekend, and I got out to the range or to the course every single day, and I realized if I was single, I would be at the course every single day. Razor thin margins, finish 8 strokes back. That's just one missed putt every 9 holes. Yeah, like it can. Yeah, it's crazy how much it can. You know, one shot, like one shot behind a tree, you have to punch out and then lay up. Like, yeah, that's 2 strokes all of a sudden. Like, yeah, things can just really add up fast. But that also means that, you know, one good shot can save that many strokes. Also, so it's yeah, it's an interesting balance. This isn't gonna be 14 yards lost into this wind, but it's gonna be something reasonable. I think I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna play it stock. I'm gonna use this backstop to my advantage. I think it'll come back. I got a little bit left of the backstop. Okay. I mean, it's a tough pin. You're tucked in the front here. This is not... This doesn't feel like a birdie hole to me. I don't know what's happening, but I really like it. Really like it. Gotta retry sleeping 3 a.m. now, but wish you long drives, hold putts, few strokes, and none of the chokes. Appreciate you, Zvorda. Good to see you, man. Have a good sleep. Or at least good luck with the sleeping. Yeah, there's something, I don't know, I have a feel for the greens right now. And I think it's because we played similar greens in warm-up that something is mentally triggering the right adjustments and, like, just the last little movements are working. Little pebble extra for you. He's asleep, but noted. This is such a steep lie. Okay. I do feel like this is gonna break a ton. The wind's in a little bit, and it's uphill a bit. Just gonna give it some D-loft. I did not hit that well. That was probably the worst input we've had so far today. I don't know. I was not confident in it, and so hit the big slow there. I don't know if I just thought I maybe didn't aim, or I aimed too much, or what it was, but something I just didn't quite feel good about that one. So has to get so far outside the hole and then come crashing down. Ah. That was actually a bit smoother at the hole than I thought. That last little bit really felt like, to me, it was gonna come barreling down on the hole from, you know, closer to 3 o'clock. All right, so we got about 19 miles an hour here. Looking to play more in that 20. It's a little bit of backstop. I feel like the crazy part is you don't really want to be playing too much loft or anything. These always just seem like they play so strong. 99% will work out just fine. Yeah, look at that. 176? That really ended up playing 10 yards extra? Okay. I thought maybe with the push out to the right that would change the angle enough, but I suppose that's not the case, clearly. All right, what do we got here? It's pretty flat. It's like the early parts are the big thing. I still think it's gonna break a fair amount. This is so unlike me. This is so unlike me. Like, just sinking putts out here? At range, too? And, like, look what it does to the score. It's crazy. So we really have a driver par 4. We actually have a driver par 4. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Ah, I hit it too fast. Dang. But there was no other option. That was the play. That really was the play. All right, I want to land you somewhere like here, I think. Uphill lie in the bunker, uphill. 70%. This is always the hard part for me, is judging this last little bit, because it's a longer splash. So we're aimed, let's say we're aimed at like 18-ish yards. 70%. 18 is 70% of what? Like 23? I think is how that math works out. Not bad. Got a little bit maybe on the low roll there, or maybe just a little bit under reading the aim, but solid out. Now, I definitely think one thing that we could learn is how to let the splashes roll out a little bit more. I know we play a lot for the hop and stop, and we do make some, but I think there are some cases where it would be okay to try and let them roll. But that would take some tinkering and really trying to understand them a little bit better. Because you still would need to shape it, and that's kind of the hard part. Because the unshaped ones roll like crazy. 21-mile-an-hour wind. I'm gonna have to say here with some D-loft. I'm gonna give it a little topspin too. I don't wanna spin this thing back. Like, I want to get it to plant, and I don't want to roll all the way back. So, like, I'm okay with that, because I know if I don't shape it, that has so much rollback potential into those sorts of winds. Come on, keep them rolling. Keep them rolling. Just got your first Albi in a society, Bobo? Heck yeah, man. Love a good Albi. Love a good Albi. They're so rare, you know? I have a few to my name, but the Ace of Tross is like the one big shot that has eluded me entirely. I have not found the Ace of Tross. A lot of aces, few Albies, but never on the same hole. Hey, you know, just 22 miles an hour of wind. Nothing too much. Now, do you pitch this? I feel like you do. I feel like you do be pitching. I'm gonna say here. Wind is in and it's already uphill. Now becomes the question. I give it a little loft and spin. Fight. These are the worst putts. I always struggle so much with these ones that have break right at the end. So we're going to go with pace. We're going to go with pace, and we're going to try and feel out, like, how much is that break really happening. Okay. I mean, if the goal was to get to 40, we have done a heck of a job putting ourselves in position for that. 10 under through 13 holes in these conditions is kind of gnarly. Can you drive the bunker here? Because if you can drive the bunker... Yes, there's not necessarily a ton of control, but you're at 40 yards out, like, you have shot options that still can apply some spin and all of that to your shot. So, 318, that's into the 320s. That's going to be into easily carrying 340s. And then I think even in the light rough, you're okay. But maybe we aim it in a way where, we could be light rough, we could be fairway. Like, leave the fairway as an option. That actually got even more to the right. So we're going to be in the light rough, but we're beyond the trees, and light rough is manageable here. Like, light rough is very, very manageable. Okay, so let's think about this. So a fully lofted pitch for me is 50 yards. And then you're at 10% off. So you're at 44 yards, 43. I don't know if I can... The thing is, I don't know if I can fully backspin. If we get 94%, that could be dangerous, so... Could be in here. I think if you go, like, mostly backspin, you should be able to get some rollout and kind of just stop it. Pull it back and push it forward. What's going on, Casey? Beautiful touch. I pick things up and put them down. What's going on, Vandy? Classic commercial. We roll. We roll. And this hole has been so tough. Like, what a challenging par 3. An absolute beast. I hit it slow. I knew we weren't carrying it onto the green, but the hope was that if we hit a good shot, we could hit it right to that slope and kind of kick it on. But I don't know. Something about going long on this doesn't feel like it gives me a great putt opportunity. Very, very challenging. Ah. Lost a little bit too much distance on that. Lost a little bit too much distance on that. But that, 100%, at least in my mind, that's a par hole. If you make birdie on 15, I mean, you've gotten away with some serious crime in broad daylight. That is not easy at all. 444 yards, but you have freaking... You got like 22 miles an hour of wind at the back. I mean, you could very easily... I think you do just like carry this down and try and get a pitch in from short, even if it's out of the light rough. Like, even if you manage your shot too far over the fairway here, which we might, or you end up to the right, I think the distance is just too key here. I'm okay with this going left from the wind because it kicks left to right. I hit that so fast, though. Now that's bad. Now that's bad. That's out the back. I was okay with the wind. That was a bad input, though. I was okay with the wind, but that was a bad input. Might be. Might be. Pushed it too much. That's exactly what I'm looking for in terms of distance. Over push that one. So that's a couple of bad shots in a row on that hole. But now we've got 541 tailing wind. Come on, let's find a fairway here and let's maybe give ourselves a chance at eagle. Maybe fast, but into the left to right wind that's going to hold out nice and straight. Okay. I was like, is this fairway going to be mean enough that it kicks us off? The answer is fortunately no. I think we give this just a touch of loft and backspin, to be honest. And then I'm going to play it a little bit out to the left because I just want to guard against the right-hand miss with the wind. There's the strike. There's the line. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I didn't know how fast it was going to stop, so that's why I played as much loft and spin as I did. So I didn't want to bring myself a downhill putt, like going long. Making the adjustments. Making the adjustments. Making the putts. Get in there, TFR. Come on. Fire me up. All it takes is one good round. Yeah, when the conditions are this tough, you know, we've battled, we haven't been where we wanted to be, in one good round, it launches you up the leaderboard. $20-mile-an-hour wind. Gotta remember, it's gonna play way more than 20 yards. Play closer probably to this 30. Ah, still short. Look at that. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I'm gonna putt this. Come on, let's make a crazy putt. We almost did the unthinkable there. We almost did the unthinkable. That's a crazy last approach shot though. So much wind. So much wind. I think I'm doing the right thing there with the yardage, and we're still a bit short. But that is a 13 under, and if we take a look, we have tied the leaders or surpassed some of the guys in the top 10. We take a peek over there. That's T14 all of a sudden on the PlayStation leaderboard. So that is a massive round. Give myself a little pat on the back. That is huge stuff. So we fight, we claw. These rounds have been a mental struggle, have been a battle. But all it takes is 9 under, and we're hanging around in a very tough round, and then we come out on the high end in a very tough round, and all of a sudden that's 4, 5, 6 strokes that you're stealing on guys that you're close to. So that's big. It's gonna move us way up the leaderboard, and we hopefully take that momentum right on into next week.